till now I'm very happy and very content कि आप मुझे कुछ भी दे दो यार, कुछ भी, उसको कुछ भी परिभाषा दे दो, डिफाइन कर दो, आप पॉजिटिव दे दो, नेगेटिव दे दो, है ना, कुछ भी दे दो, इट शुड अपील मी। यार अब क्या करूँगा, ये भी नेगेटिव, ये भी नेगेटिव, ये भी नेगेटिव, अब इसको अलग कैसे करूँ? एंड आई शुड नॉट बी टाइप कास्ट इन टर्म्स ऑफ, आई शुड नॉट बी टोल्ड अरे सब रिपीट करता है यार, ये सब में एक जैसा है यार, बोर करता है यार। आई विल फील वेरी बैड इफ पीपल विल स्टार्ट टॉकिंग अबाउट दैट। हर रोल आपको स्क्रिप्ट से मिलता है, बट उसका एक बैकग्राउंड अगर आप बना लेंगे, उसकी बैक स्टोरी बना लेंगे, तो वो उसका नेचर बताता है। व्हेन इट सेज दैट व्हाट इज द बिहेवियर, इट टेल्स यू द बॉडी लैंग्वेज एज वेल। कसाई का काम गले में बैठने का नहीं होता है, काटने का होता है। नाउ देर आर 1000 वेज ऑफ दिस वन लाइन। कसाई का काम गले में बैठने का नहीं, काटने का होता है, राइट? आई कुड बी मोर पावरफुल टू दिस, बट आई प्रिफर्ड द सबटल परफॉर्मेंस, है ना? द कंसिस्टेंसी शुड रिमेन सेम, and again the mind should be empty. You should not get into drugs, you should not get into drinking, you should not get into something which will change your attire. What happens, why am I socially or publicly saying that ki you should not get into that? Because it affects on your body. And camera is your friend. He will catch it and he is reflected as clear. You cannot hide anything from camera.
So Raj Arjun sir, thank you so much for being here with us on the FPJ.
Thank you so much for inviting me.
And I suppose the life must have been really intense given the kind of film that you have done just in the recent past, Yudhra. And here you are, I mean, you are playing baddie in this one. But as we speak and chat just before the start of the interview, all I see is shades of white. So is that the dichotomy? Is that the irony of being a baddie, a villain?
I have always been like this, and I was always having intention of playing baddie initially, because these roles always have a dimension and so many variations in life and all. So it was intentionally decided that I will do something extraordinary. And when we say that the kind of energy you throw in universe, you send a message, it reaches to somewhere or the other. So I was not telling it to the producer or the directors or the makers or the casting director. I was just throwing the message in the universe, and it just rounded. So I think the round is completed now, and people from all over the world and all over the industries are approaching me from different system and different aspects of the life, and they are offering me these kind of roles. So I'm at a good place right now.
Of course, you're at a better place. 370, Article 370, and now this. How do you draw parallel? Because these are big ticket films, no doubt about that. तो ऐसी फिल्में जब आपकी तरफ आती है, of course, बतौर परफॉर्मर, बतौर एक्टर अच्छा लगता होगा ही, बट इतने सालों की जो तपस्या होती है, जो क्राफ्ट पे काम होता है, तो बड़ी फिल्म आती है, बड़ा टाइटल आता है, बड़ा प्रोडक्शन आता है, तो एक परफॉर्मर क्या फील करता है? क्या उसके लिए परफॉर्मेंस बहुत ज़्यादा मायने रखती है, या उसके लिए परफॉर्मेंस इज जस्ट लाइक एनी अदर performance?
No, I would like to say that none of the performances are any other like. We cannot let it go, because once it comes out, it will remain for the whole life. Once you leave the life, even then it will remain like that.
Okay.
And the actor who comes from intense training, and the actor like me who waited for a long time to show his craft, cannot take things easily and all, or cannot go things like lightly and all.
Cannot take things for granted.
Yeah, and also since if you are hungry for a food, for a long time, and if you are given a food after a long time,
you relish the
will
meat.
eat
you
from
relish
everywhere.
the feast.
You relish the feast, and you want to eat each and everything and all. So whether it comes from the new production houses or a new filmmaker and all, I look out for the content, I look out for the story, and I deeply go into the detailing of it, that if I be a part of this film, and what can I bring, and how can I make something new, or how can I enhance my craft. So whether it is Khabar of 370, or whether it is Qasim Rizvi of Razakar, or this Firoz of Yudhra, I feel that I need to have a satisfaction while reading the script, and if it gives me goosebumps. So that itself tells you that you should get into that zone and you should do this story. So what you were saying, Prathamesh, is absolutely right, that when we see the film, if it is coming from a big production house or a big filmmaker, those who have already created a mark also makes things easy for us, because then they come with the guarantee that this film will be released well, this film will be seen well, and like people have proved themselves in the market and all, so you rely a lot on them. So you get engaged too much with that because of those creative minded people, those who have already established themselves and all. So that gives you a freedom to go more closer to the script and to believe them. With newcomers, you have to think little more and all, but it all depends on the script and the role which I have been offered and all.
आप बोल रहे थे कि whenever the role comes your way, the performer in you obviously thinks how are you going to portray it differently, perhaps unconventionally. What was it about this role in Yudhra that you thought unconventionally and therefore conveyed the message and portrayed the character also unconventionally?
So there is a temptation of playing any role unconventionally, but that temptation should not go in your head to make it so heavy that it should look unrealistic. That is very important. And you should not cross the limit to make it so unconventional that it should leave the path. Now, how will you convince? Suppose if you have some great ideas about some role and they are just popping from your head, your mind, your heart, how will you convey that to a director to whom you have not started working? So you have to hold it. You have to keep thinking, and you have to just live with those ideas for some days. And if you are given a liberty by a director, and if you feel that he has a aura, he has a vibe to receive that message, you can take an advantage of giving an advice. So with Yudhra, I felt that Ravi Udhyawar is so welcoming in my first narration itself, that I felt that I can dare to advise him something related with Firoz. So you have seen Yudhra, and then Firoz is a bald man. So when I was hearing the story, and there is an incident when my son dies in the film. So when I was just hearing the narration, I felt, यार यहाँ पर फिरोज को बाल कटवाने चाहिए. And this idea suddenly excited me while first narration only. And I felt that I should tell him now, right now, but I hold it because I am just hearing the narration. They have not called me for giving an advice. They are giving me a narration. So I went back and thought over about it, and then I discussed this with my daughter and all, with my wife, and then they said, if you one said tell it, one said, अरे रवि उद्यावर है वो, फरहान अख्तर की फिल्म है, आप क्या कर रहे हो, चुपचाप जाओ रोल करो. So these things keeps happening because it's the human mind. But I couldn't resist myself, and I went to him next day, and then I told him, रवि जी मुझे लगता है कि इसको ना बाल कटवाने चाहिए, और बाल कटवाते वक्त रोना चाहिए, और रोते वक्त रोना दिखना नहीं चाहिए. So he said, why do you think so? I said, बेटा मर गया है, he will do something or the other, and then he's so powerful that he will not cry in front of the public and all, so he will take shower so that tears are not seen. So he thought about it and he liked it so much. He liked the idea so much. But at the same night, he called me up. He said, Raj, he belongs to a different community. How can he cut his hair? How can be bald and all? So I He said, Ravi ji, फिर क्या करें? It's okay, fine. Let's leave this idea. But he liked the idea so much. Then next day he called me and he said, you will shave your head? I said, I'm willing to. So he said, I will change the beginning. We'll keep you bald from the beginning and all. So these things, a small suggestion he welcomed, and there are lots of other suggestions as well, like a use of monitor or something. But he was so welcoming in each and every suggestion of mine that I felt that I am in my own family members' situation and that space. So sometimes when you get these kind of directors, you can take liberty, but you have to learn that sometimes when you are not given the liberty, you should respect the director, and because ultimately he is the captain of the ship.
Correct.
And you don't have to go over the board and show कि अरे भैया मैं तो बड़ा अच्छा इम्प्रोवाइज करता हूँ या मैं बड़े अच्छे सजेशन देता हूँ, तो ये मानो।
एक होता है एक आर्टिस्ट ही दूसरे आर्टिस्ट को समझ सकता है। लेट मी गो अ स्टेप फर्दर, एक विलन ही दूसरे विलन को समझ सकता है। मैं इस लिहाज से बोल रहा हूँ, एक और बैडी है जो एक विलन स्पेस में बहुत ही बखूबी तरीके से, बहुत ही एक्सीलेंट वे में इमर्ज हो रहे हैं, वो है राघव जुयाल। कमाल थे वो किल में, ब्यूटिफुल परफॉर्मेंस। हियर अगेन ही इज प्लेइंग दैट फ्री काइंड ऑफ रोल इन युद्रा। आप बैडी हैं, वो भी बैडी हैं, सो बैडी की एनर्जी कैसे आंकते हैं उनके परफॉर्मेंस को? आप कैसे देखते हैं हिम एज अ परफॉर्मर एंड एज अ विलन?
पहले मैं उसके व्यक्तित्व के बारे में बात करता हूँ। उसमें ना एक कमाल की एनर्जी है। वो जब पर्सनली आपसे मिलेगा तो इतना ठहराव के साथ नहीं, वो कोई एक एनर्जी फेंक देता है, तो वो एक अच्छी वाइब दे देता है आपको और सेफ वाइब देता है। तो और वो जो है, वो जो क्वालिटी आप बोल रहे हैं ना, वो इनहेरेंट है, वो बचपन से रही होगी ऐसा मैं मान रहा हूँ, और उस वजह से वो बहुत ही बिंदास और बेफिक्री से जो परफॉर्मेंस करना कहते हैं ना, खुल के। एक्टर should be always empty from the mind, and I have seen Raghav talking. He doesn't think much, he talks what is there then and there. So then actor's job also is like that he should not start analyzing things and talking while making maths and all. It should not be like that. So he is like that. That's why he is lovable, and that's why he is coming with the purity, and that's why he is accepted with lots of people and all. And I'm so happy for him. Then later on I saw him in Kill and all. I loved him in that too. And over here also he has done a brilliant job. Both Siddhant and Raghav, both are hard working, and they were working with Ravi ji much before I came on set. So once you work with the director from a longer time, you have a strong relationship. Like if you know someone from a longer time and you are meeting me with the first time, it will take a time to create that chemistry and all. So same thing happened with me, but we gelled so well that it was given one and all. So though two baddies created some magic on the screen, there was no competition. He is like a kid to me, he's like bacha. So I remember one scene where he has to go for Nikhat's lookout in Portugal, and so we were just finding out the way and all. So we worked out together that क्यों क्या बोलेगा, कैसे करेंगे and all. So it is easy one-on-one and all, and he's coming out very well, and I'm so happy for him.
And of course, then coming into a space where you're not playing a villain. Say, I mean, it's very easy in this industry to get typecast, stereotype. So do you fear that? Do you accept the fact this is how this industry functions, but at the same time, when something else is offered to you, perhaps in terms of genre, perhaps in terms of characterization that is absolutely hatke from what you have done, say previously XYZ, do you get excited? Do you get nervous, or is it excitement and nervousness that helps the performer in you?
See, this is a part of life of an actor, that this nervousness and excitement comes together, and a lot of time it so happens that we feel and we plan that life should go in this way, but that doesn't happen. So come what may, if I plan my life कि यार मैं ना अब यही करूँगा, that doesn't happen. And initially it was juggling for the roles. Now roles started happening. Now people have started. Suppose if I take that in my head कि यार मेरे को तो लोग जो है people think I'm a bad guy and they are just giving me bad roles and all. So again there would be a confusion in my mind and all, and mind would be occupied by these thoughts. Now I usually be away from these thoughts कि क्या दे रहे हैं. It is contentful, it is meaningful. Will I be able to bring something new, or will I be able to put my soul into it? Because there are some roles which you can see easily, Prathamesh, that there is no soul in it. And you feel यार बहुत रूखा रोल है ये, इसमें कुछ मज़ा ही नहीं है. I usually avoid that. Now I am out of this category of being positive or negative or grey or black. Till now I am very happy and very content कि आप मुझे कुछ भी दे दो यार, कुछ भी, उसको कुछ भी परिभाषा दे दो, डिफाइन कर दो. आप पॉजिटिव दे दो, नेगेटिव दे दो, है ना, कुछ भी दे दो. इट शुड अपील मी. नाउ टिल नाउ what we say that the asset I have, the power inside, the volcano I have still is not empty. I still feel that there is so much which I can bring in each and every role of mine, whether it is called, so called villain or negative or antagonist, because there is so much to do. And I am being lucky, or I'm fortunate that each and every time when I'm very nervous or very conscious कि यार अब क्या करूँगा, ये भी नेगेटिव, ये भी नेगेटिव, ये भी नेगेटिव, अब इसको अलग कैसे करूँ. एंड आई शुड नॉट बी टाइप कास्ट इन टर्म्स ऑफ, आई शुड नॉट बी टोल्ड अरे सब रिपीट करता है यार, ये सब में एक जैसा है यार, बोर करता है यार. आई विल फील वेरी बैड इफ पीपल विल स्टार्ट टॉकिंग अबाउट दैट. सो माई हार्ड वर्क गोज देयर कि इफ आई हैव डन Farooq in Secret Superstar, he should not be relatable to Feroz from Yudhra, and he should not be relatable to Qasim Rizvi from Virodhakar, and nowhere from Khabar. So I make it a point, and this preparation is psychological preparation of each and every actor. So till now I have been fortunate and I am lucky that I am able to serve the purpose. The moment I will feel that I am empty now and I cannot play antagonist anymore and all, I would shift anytime. And see, I'm telling you, it is just one step. Whenever there are obstacles in life, how do we cross them, the hindrance and all? We take one step. That's it. And that step, more than taking a physical step, it is psychological. You just have to take one decision.
I agree.
Right? Now, once you take a decision, the whole universe take a decision on behalf of you.
Yeah.
So, after Secret Superstar, I did near about 4-5 films in Tamil, Telugu, Malayalam and all. One day I thought, अरे यार बहुत हो गया विलन है ना, तमिल हो गया, तेलुगु हो गया, मलयालम हो गया. So I thought I want to play something rohani. That was the thought, that soulful. Now Sai Baba came to me. So that was totally different from that. So you just have to throw that energy. Things just fulfill and all.
You're talking about universe a lot. As a performer, are you a spiritual person or are you spiritual in general? What happens is that there are two sides of a personality I see. As an artist, you think about the energy and the manifestation, but in person, when they're off camera, they're a different soul. Does the idea of relating to that energy, manifesting it, sending out a message to the universe, as you said, does that come to you as an individual or does it come to you as a performer, as an artist?
I cannot give in a statement by myself that I am too spiritual and all, because I'm still discovering myself a lot. And just because I do little bit of meditation, say for seconds or something, or just because I hear some motivational talk or some spiritual leader, doesn't mean that I've become a spiritual man and now I can talk about a lot with, and I can involve the general public also in that. I just want to be clear that I have found it that none of my planning work, and it has kept me in life. I mean to say, it taught me in life by the time passed away, that none of your planning works. The only best thing you can do is work and throw the energy and wait for it. So sometime my struggle is taken in a wrong way, that people quote that he struggled for 18 years and all. It is just that it takes time sometime, or it happens very fast sometime. But my life was moving and I was in that direction. I didn't left it, and I was continuously working it. At the same time, my energy was thrown there. So a lot of time I stopped working physically on it, but I was working. So there is a part in our subconscious which is connected with some power. Now, for you, it can be Almighty. For somebody, it can be Ishwar. For another one, it can be Allah. For some, it can be universal law. But there is something, some power is there.
A higher power.
A higher power. Now, you have to understand that something happens in your life by that power. है ना? And then that shows you again and again. Then you are bound to believe on it. And once you believe on it, it reflects in your energy, it reflects in your aura. Now, the another question you asked, that does it comes to your work also? Yes, it does. Of course, it does. Without that, there is no performance. If you will not put, in a example way, I'm saying, if you will not take it on a meditative level to a work, it will not solve the purpose. Because if I have to be angry, I have to forget what I am right now. If I will keep thinking I am Raj Arjun, I am an actor, I have to be angry, that will not be convincing. I have to forget myself. Now, what do we do in meditation? We try to forget ourselves. Lot of time we are taught that meditation में क्या करना है, अपनी सांस पे ध्यान दो, है ना, सोच आए तो उसको हटाओ. There are some ways. Now that is what we do in performance. Now if you have a fight with your wife and you are thinking about your wife at home, कि यार उसने बोला खाना आप खुद बना लिया करो, ये कर लिया करो, and I have a romantic scene with you, how will I do it? So it is almost meditative and a spiritual process. Detachment. And the emphasis is empty mind. Because if a dustbin at home is full, the smell would be there, and then you cannot put anything else in that. But if it is empty, you can keep it clean, and then you can timely remove it again and again. Same works with mind. So whether you are empty for a longer time, whether you are working or the best condition for mind is, for an actor is, to keep it empty. Keep it empty so that you can fill something else. एक नया character आया, आप उसको भरोगे और करोगे emote. But there is no performance without connecting it to spiritualism for me, or without connecting it to meditation with me.
सर ये बताए, तीन बैडी हैं, अगर तीन विलन हैं,
हाँ.
और आपकी तरफ अगर ऐसा होता है बॉलीवुड में, क्योंकि एक रोल किया तो बार बार वैसा, और आपने कहा कि तो विविधता कैसे आएगी, तो वेरिएशन कैसे आएगा? तो अगर आपके पास तीन किरदार है, आप ही की फिल्म का एग्जाम्पल लेकर शायद आप एक्सप्लेन कर सकते हैं. सो यू हैव 3 विलन्स इन 3 डिफरेंट फिल्म्स, and perhaps brief is given to you, but you have to add your own color to it, your own personality, and you have to demarcate these 3 villains by virtue of applying innovation and improvisation. तो आपने ये 3 अलग अलग कैरेक्टर को कैसे आँखा रीड किया and then portray किया?
What happens when a character is narrated to you, lot of time, half the things you understand, half the things you don't understand, because that is their vision. He himself is right. What he is narrating you is right. But now as an actor, it is your duty to dig out that and to develop one more story. Keeping this story and develop one more story. And then few days later, one more story. And moreover, like if I take my example or any other actor's example, you have to go with the psychology, that the man's background, start from the background. Now, these things are not written in these stories in detailing, that mostly. So you have to develop your story and background banakar, आपको उस कैरेक्टर के बारे में बहुत सोचना पड़ता है, सोचने के बाद उसको डिफ्रेंशिएट करना पड़ता है। लाइक एग्जांपल, आप अगर बहुत नैरो माइंडेड है तो आपके जेस्चर कैसे होंगे, आपकी बात कैसी होगी, आपका सुर क्या होगा। आप अगर मान लेते हैं फारूक है सीक्रेट्स ऑफ स्टार का, वो एक बड़ौदा में स्कूटर पे जॉब करने जाता है, तो वो मान लेते हैं 40 किलोमीटर दूर तक जॉब करके जाता है, स्कूटर चलाता है। तो ये स्टोरी में नहीं लिखा रहता है, लेकिन आपको सोचना पड़ेगा कि 40 किलोमीटर ड्राइव करके आता होगा स्कूटर पे, तो वो ये उम्मीद करता है कि घर में गरम गरम खाना हो, है ना, जैसे ही मैं दरवाज़ा खोलूँ तो टॉवल हाथ में मिल जाए और मेरी बीवी जो है गर्म पानी लेके आए। सो ही हैज़ हिज ओन लॉजिक्स। नाउ दिस ऑल दिस कैन नॉट बी written in the script, but it is an actor's job, nobody else's job, that develop the fake story and make it real and learn it, and then on the performance unlearn it. Okay. Because so much, if you will learn so much and if you will decide so much, everything will be good, but because so much magic will not happen again, because it is all कचरा है दिमाग में फिर कि मैं यार 40 किलोमीटर स्कूटर चलाता हूँ, फिर मैं ये करता हूँ, तो बहुत कुछ हो गया ना, ये कॉम्प्लिकेटेड हो गया ना। सिंपल रोल है ना भाई, सिंपल करो ना। तो बैल बजाई आए बीवी ने जैसा, तो आपको उस साइकोलॉजी पे काम करके रोल्स को अलग अलग बनाना पड़ता है। हर रोल आपको स्क्रिप्ट से मिलता है, बट उसका एक बैकग्राउंड अगर आप बना लेंगे, उसकी बैक स्टोरी बना लेंगे, तो वो उसका नेचर बताता है। When it says that what is the behavior, it tells you the body language as well. Okay. A lot of time, like I will give you an example. Okay, in Yudhra, I was confused and in dilemma that what would be the sur of my first line, the very first line. Rhythm? What would be the rhythm? That the first line, के कसाई का काम गले बैठने का नहीं होता है, काटने का होता है। Now there are 1000 ways of this one line. कसाई का काम गले में बैठने का नहीं, काटने का होता है, right? I could be more powerful to this, but I preferred the subtle performance, है ना? So this, while working on the craft again and again and again and again, the character itself tells you that ये line ऐसे बोल भाई. So this is a divine power to an actor. So this was, I was telling you that this, I don't want to glamorize it so much कि actors का job जो है वो ऐसा ऐसा है या वैसा वैसा है. See, hard work is involved in each and every field, but over here psychological preparation is needed in lots of characters, but which is a pleasure. It is not, it is painful, but it gives you immense pleasure, and it is our choice, it is my choice, I have chosen it. So I want to remain in that process, whether it is off screen or on screen. Now if I have signed a film and if I have to be there in the role for suppose 30 days I am required for the shoot, and on 30 days most of the time I have to wait in the vanity van for 4 hours 5 hours. So usually it is my choice, like 4 or 5 hours I can hang up, I can do whatever I want and all. This is my process, this is my personal choice, that I like to be in the character, because I know that this character will not come to me again in near future. So let me just have it, yeah, as much as I can. So when I go on screen I am confident, because I have not left that tar. If you are connected with that some wire, if you leave it, you have to look out for that wire. Na? I still feel that that wire should be connected to me. So that is what I enjoy.
Finding this sur, finding this tal, then sir, what is your school of acting? Some people say I go by the new age method, some people say it's method acting, some people go back to references, and as you said, building that backstory, understanding the arc of the character, understanding the arc of the story, and then developing it, coming back and forth. Some people just say no, it is all about spontaneity. इतना ज़्यादा टेंशन लेकर नहीं चलना है. जो there are also people who say either you know it or you do not. Either you can act or you cannot act. And then there are people who say that if you study better, your performance becomes better with every passing minute. What is your school of acting?
Let me tell you, Prathamesh, I am enjoying this conversation because after a long time, somebody is talking about craft, somebody is talking about acting, somebody is talking about the nitty-gritty of the characters and all that. So usually people just want to know about the struggle. I'm bored of that struggle because that was by my choice.
Correct.
And I wanted to live here, die here, and that I chose that.
Where is the struggle?
Where is the
I
struggle?
was enjoying the process.
Yeah. So I was just enjoying life. At the same time, I was waiting for work, and everybody have up and down. So I had low phase, I have up phase. उसको इतना क्या glamorize करूँ मैं? So I'm very happy the way you are talking about the craft. I wanted somebody to ask these kind of questions. So see, if you know the craft, if you know acting, it is nothing for you. If you don't know, it is a big hova for you. Now there are lots of method which has been developed by from over the time. Like there is one big method, Stanislavski system, that favors the method acting. Like you have to get into the skin of the character so much that you are totally involved, and then you forget yourself totally and get into the skin of the character and all. So there are lots of actors, they say we are method actors. Now then later came ki bhai, if you have to kill somebody, you will not be able to, you will not kill. And if you're getting so much involved in some role and all, when you say action, you have to say cut, how will you react that? I know you cannot get so much involved and all. So then came Brecht theory. So Brechtian theory said ki there is no involvement and all, that you have to portray and then you have to stylize or this and that. Some other theory they came up. Then another theory came up. So theories are there, and still these Stanislavski system of Brecht, there are limited editions and they are written long back, and they were so complicated, they are so complicatedly written, they are so complicated that once you start reading them, you will be unnecessarily confused a lot of time. So when I read them and all again and again, I used to underline that Stanislavski, actors prepares, character a creator and all, and you won't believe my nights were sleepless because I felt.
But is this a good thing to happen that you have?
It is. Everything is good. You should take it very positively in a way. Everything is because it bothers you a lot. Then it kept bothering me कि अरे क्या मेरे को कुछ समझ में नहीं आता है क्या? But I've been working and I'm thinking I'm a best actor, and this line I'm not understanding. So I used to bring highlighters, yellow, green, black, and all. And what I'm not understanding, I used to write that. That is an actor's preparation by itself. Over the time. Over the time and by the experience of the life, by the time you spend in the life, and by the pain, by pathos, by traumas, by happiness of the life in your surrounding, you keep learning acting, and that's bound you to develop your craft. So all these stories, all these courses, all these syllabus are absolutely valid. Now it is up to you. What do you like? Take something from Stanislavski, take something from Brecht, take something from Greek theatre, take something from Farsi, and create your own.
There are tools, you create your own toolbox.
Yes, yeah. And you create your own. Why do you have to be identify, or why do you have to give a definition that I am this kind of an actor? Now you get involved. Now for some people, in some acting schools or some classes, people say that you have to develop a reasoning, like if you have to cry.
Correct.
And you have to think your mother has died or your father has died, but some it doesn't work. For me it doesn't work. मेरे को रोना है, मैं रो दूंगा अभी without any reason, because for me the character has died and I feel that he is my son. I can cry. So when I used to do workshops and all, I was told that there is a switch. You have to go and you have to think 5 times when, why, where, how, why are you doing this? So there is one way you do that, and there is one way you be honest to your craft. You be very, very honest. So over the time I have learned.
So when you touch upon all these topics, and in all these years, 17, 18 years of sweet journey, I would not say struggle, what do you know for sure about the craft of acting?
See, from the first day itself, I was dead sure that I'm a brilliant actor.
That belief?
I believed it. When I came over here, I worked in Bharat Bhavan Bhopal and in theatre and all. So everybody used to say over there, and I felt. And I was trained in a way. Over there, Habib Saab is my guru, and I have worked in theatre and all. So I knew it. that I'm a brilliant actor. What happens? The mindset keeps changing. Sometimes you are in a different frequency. See, sometimes it so happened with Prathamesh, it would have happened with you also, that when you go in front of the mirror, you look handsome.
Yeah.
And at the very second day, you look ugly. Now nothing has changed. You suddenly look fat. Now nothing has changed. You're eating same, you're living there, but the mindset is changing. So though I felt I'm a brilliant actor, when I was not accepted, I started doubting on myself for some time. But that doesn't mean कि यार मैं अभी खत्म ही हो गया, मैं चला ही जाऊँ बोरिया बिस्तर लेके. I stayed here. कि इसको समझ में नहीं आ रहा हूँ, किसी को तो समझ में आऊँगा, इसको भी नहीं समझ में आया, किसी और को समझ में. So I stopped. I hold it, but I didn't go back. I felt that I am not getting the person who is of my wavelength, or who can see my performance, or who will notice me. One day or the other it happens. But the consistency should remain same, and again the mind should be empty. You should not get into drugs, you should not get into drinking, you should not get into something which will change your attire. What happens? Why am I socially or publicly saying that you should not get into that? Because it affects on your body. And camera is your friend. He will catch it and he is reflected as clear. You cannot hide anything from camera. So if you are in drugs, or if you are in smoking, or if you are in drinking and all, your face changes.
Yeah.
So the composed जो ठहराव आपके चेहरे में होता है, that goes.
Correct.
And suddenly you will see that a lot of actors miss their spark. You see, अरे यार ये कुछ मिस हो गया, अरे क्यों मिस हो गया? There is a reason for that. So that
true.
consistency is needed. So that is what is very, very important in life. So that is it. Yeah.
What's on the horizon? What more we look forward to? In terms of films, in terms of web series, what are you excited about?
Now I'm still cherishing the moments of Yudhra, because Feroz is one of the another character which is very, very close to my heart. Also very different. What I didn't discovered it before, and I struggled in a way. Fighted. The fight is within me. It is me versus me. It is no one else. So I create my characters within my characters only. I don't take reference from Hollywood actors or the Indian actors कि अरे ऐसा कुछ करना, nothing like that. So मैंने जो किया है, so I thoroughly enjoyed playing Feroz. Now
What is about Feroz that you speak so endearingly of? I mean, so many characters you portrayed in your lifetime. Of course, this being a big film. But at the same time, I guess and I gather that there is something about Feroz that is close to you, and you have not been able to speak of it, perhaps.
No, I will talk about Feroz, as well as there was a character called R.M. Veerappan in Talaivi that released at the time of COVID, and but that also is very close to my heart and all. And
So can we visit these two? Yeah, Feroz and Talaivi.
And Farooq, of course, that is a life-changing character for me and all. These are the three, I can say, three characters which are very, very close to my heart. Now, what makes this important? Because this has recently happened. जो अभी अभी पैदा होता है वो ज़्यादा प्यारा होता है. And I changed my physical appearance in that one. And this is, in a way, it's a commercial big film. Now I did Secret Superstar. That is a big super duper hit film, and I'm very proud that I'm a part of that, and my life got changed because of that film only. And R.M. Veerappan again. But that has a soul of art in that. So I couldn't touch the masses in that category, which a stylized man, I couldn't take that liberty. Because in Secret Superstar Farooq, I have to follow a line. I cannot leave the character. Because that comes with a thought that uski बीवी ऐसी है, daughter is like that. So he is an orthodox man and he doesn't like them and all. And same thing applies R.M. Veerappan, who is a very loyal and honest man. So I cannot leave my honesty and a loyalty. But over here in Feroz, I could experiment a lot. I could talk the way I wanted. I could sit the way I wanted. I could leave and come. I could do it like this or something or the other. है ना, like this, and all that comes in the style of mannerism also I could adopt. Over there was a less scope of mannerism, because the moment you start adopting mannerism, you can leave that thin line of character also. So you have to be very, very miser to give. I learned a lesson from my guru Habib Saab. He said, ज़्यादा मत किया करो यार, ज़्यादा करने की ज़रूरत नहीं है.
Less is more.
Less is more. Why do you do that? I was given a role of a तांगे वाला, तो उसमें छड़ी रहती थी हाथ में, तो मैं कभी इधर डाल देता था, कभी इधर. क्यों करना है राज, क्यों करना है, सीधा बैठ जाना. तो I learned that at the early age of my life. So that is why these characters have come very, very close to my heart and all. And apart from this, now the new venture is next you will see me in a film called Match Fixing.
Match fixing.
Match Fixing.
Is it revolving around match fixing?
They have kept a title Match Fixing. It has got nothing to do
You don't want to
with
reveal?
match fixing. No, I can talk about it a little bit. Where
And this is directed by?
Directed by Kedar Gaikwad, and he's an ad filmmaker, and produced by a friend of mine who used to work with me in theatre. She was a production head when I used to work with Firoz Abbas Khan. So she has produced it. This is internal politics of India and Pakistan. That is why it is called match fixing. So it is a match fixing between India and Pakistan. Now how that we will see in match fixing. That is going to release.
And what's your role in it?
I'm playing character of a Imam. The name of the character is Imam. Very, very interesting character, who again is very emotional, but at a wrong place.
At a
Wrong place.
At a wrong place.
That emotion is not needed in that particular place and all. And I thoroughly enjoyed doing that, because that again, I mean to say that again has to be negative. And a king of somewhere. Now a negative man who has to be a powerful man is emotional. So then you are adding a vulnerability in that. Now how can be he so powerful as well as emotional? Because a powerful man has to be less emotional in front of people at least. Now he gets emotional in front of people only. So the attachment comes. If I am very powerful, I will show people that I don't have fear to lose you. But if I am very powerful and I am connected to you emotionally, and I will show कि अरे तू चला गया तो कुछ लाइफ में गड़बड़ हो जाएगा, तो गड़बड़ है ना यहाँ. The power will go. So I have played that in. I feel it has come out well. So I'm waiting for that.
We also gather that you have a film lined up with Ram Gopal Verma.
Acha, the news is out and all.
News is out.
Ramu, I want to say that he is my mentor in a way. 20 years back, I was called by Praval Raman in a film called Company.
Okay.
Yeah, and he called me up. He said there is a role in my film Company.
Ajay
Devgan Wali. Will you do a part, small part? I said, I have heard that this film is done. He said, no, there is some montage left, and you will do it. I said, of course I will do it. So I did it. I did that montage, and I shot a man over there. That's how Ramuji knows me. You won't believe, Prathamesh, he gave me main lead in a film called Shabri just because of that small shot.
Wow.
So this is destiny, this
What
is life.
did you do in that shot for him
I
to
just
impress him
came,
to bag your role?
I was standing outside a hotel, was waiting for a man for whom I was, to whom I was supposed to kill. I just shot him, ran away in my bike. That's it. That's it.
What did Ram Gopal see in that shot for you to get a role?
I don't know. He still feel I'm his one of the favorite actor. He met me recently, and he called me. He didn't call me for any of my Hindi film. One of my Telugu film has released recently called Razakar. So one of his team members said that we want Raj for this film. He said, I will call him. He's my actor. So he called me. He said, where are you? I said, I'm in Hyderabad. He said, come, I want to meet you. And he narrated me a whole story. And then we spoke about that scene also. So I don't know, Ramuji would be a best person to answer that. What did he saw in that small scene and all. But I admire him and I respect him a lot, not because he has done this to me. I have seen this quality in him from, I'm seeing this quality in him from years. He has been a risk master from a long, long time. Whether it is Shimit Amin or whether it is Sahil or whether it is Chandan Arora or whether there are so many names I can take, है ना, he has introduced a bundle of talent without even seeing their work. He has some quality of observing people, and I think he can see in eyes that he can deliver it, or no doubt. So when he met me first time, he didn't ask me about my work and all. For Shabri, he said, "Where are you from? Who is in your family?" and this and that. So that is what. Anyway, so I just completed a fantastic film.
How do you see Ram Gopal Verma as a filmmaker? Because he's a kind of filmmaker who has given us some remarkable cult films like Satya, Bhoot, Company,
Shool.
Sarkar. Just so
Yeah,
many.
every-
It is
Gone.
endless. And then we see the maverick filmmaker who has given up some absurd films, like odd films. So, what is your reading of the man, the maverick, and the filmmaker?
See, I tell you, I see him as a genius, है ना? And he is a mind-blowing director. But as he himself says, and I feel that things we take a pride or we take a credit that this has happened because of us. As I said in the beginning, it doesn't happen like that. There is something else which works. He didn't have an intention to make a bad film, or he didn't have an intention of making any of the bad film in his life and all. Some films worked, some films don't work. So you
But
never.
at one point, one felt that Ram Gopal Verma could read the pulse of the Indian audience, the cinegoers. Not so anymore. This is what comes across.
No, not so anymore. We cannot pass the statement because you never know. He will come back in a month or two or maybe three.
He's just a project away.
Just a project away. It sometimes some project works, sometimes project doesn't work. Now I will not name, but there are few films which I don't like at all, but they work so hugely. And I keep looking in the theater to over here and there, and I feel that what is there which I'm not understanding, but the whole public is enjoying. So at the same time, it so happens that maybe these scripts have appealed Ramu, but they have not appealed anybody else. But he can come back any time, and he is a brilliant filmmaker. He has given some mind-blowing films which have become archive for our Indian cinema in a way, and he's an intelligent man. He talks films, he lives for films, he sleeps for films, he eats for films, and everything. He's films, nothing else. And I thoroughly enjoyed working with him in my next project, Rush, which is on off-roading, and you will have a glimpses of his ISI mark, which is jungle and different adventure and all. So very, very interesting. And
Looking forward to that one.
Thank
for
you
sure.
so much.
And looking for
Thank you.
all the projects
Thank you so much.
in which
Thank
you
you.
are a huge part of.
Thank you.
Even if you're a small part, you do it so well that you become memorable.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having this lovely conversation.
Pleasure
with
is
us.
all mine. It was a great conversation.
Congratulations for Yudhra, first of all.
Thank you so
Congratulations for playing all these baddies with such remarkable variations.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So much. Thank you.